All right, so we're going to do section 1.1, page 9, number 6, which reads, let L be the line determined by the points A and B. Plot A and B. Find the slope of line L, and then draw the graph of line L. So I hope you remember that when we're plotting points, that the x-axis is the horizontal axis, and that the y-axis is the vertical axis. And then we're just going to plot these points A and B. And for our problem, point A is at -2, -1, and point B is at 1, -2. So we're going to start by plotting A. So we're going to go over 2 and down 1, and that's going to give us A. And then we're going to go over 1 because the x value for B is positive, and down 2, and that's going to give me point B. So that's part A, plotting the points. And now for part B, we need to find the slope. So you should have read in the book, if you didn't remember, that the formula for slope is the change in y over the change in x, which is going to be y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. And just to make things easier, we're going to let point A be point 1, and we're going to let point B be point 2. And now we can just substitute in the values. So y2 is going to be the y value for B. So I'm going to have -2 minus the y value for A, which is -1, divided by the x value for B, which is 1, minus the x value for A, which is -2. And I hope you remember that when you have a minus sign and a negative sign, that we have to multiply those together and they become positive signs. So this is really going to be -2 plus 1 divided by 1 plus 2, and we're going to end up with a slope of -1 over 3, and that's our answer for part B. Now part C says to draw the graph of L. Well, if I was going to draw the graph of L, I would really want to know what the equation for that line is going to be. So I'm just going to, push that down a little bit here. And my favorite equation is y is equal to mx plus b. And I already know that my slope is -1/3 x plus b. And so all I really need to find is b. And please remember that b is the y-intercept, or the point where that line is going to cross the y-axis. And to find the y-intercept, I'm just going to pick a point. So I am going to pick point A, just because it's there. So I'm going to put in the y value for point A, which is -1, minus 1/3, times the x value for point A, which is -2, plus b. So I'm going to have -1, do my algebra here. Again, I have two negative signs, so I have plus 2/3 plus b. And if I want to get the b all by itself, I need to subtract 2/3 from both sides, so I get b is equal to -5/3. So the equation from my line becomes y is equal to -1/3 x minus 5/3. And if we go back up and look at the graph, if we just kind of connect the points here, we can see that the point where we're crossing the y-axis is between -1 and -2. And it is pretty much closer to -2, so I think that -5/3 is the right way to look at it.